Hi, this is Byron Chamberlain, former tight end for your Denver Broncos. You're watching Bronco Planet.
At what point do we take Orton out and put Tebow in?
I think Orton has to establish today. He's got to show his leadership skills. If he doesn't have it, then I think it's time to change and give Tebow or whoever a chance.
He's out halftime today.
Red zone.
Orton's out halftime today.
Hey there, Bronco fans. It's Shad and Danny, and once again, we're here at Bronco Planet. And Shad, we're coming off yet another loss, but a different kind of loss.
Hey, and an exciting loss. It kind of reminded me of Carolina. Carolina's been having all the fun this year. Yeah, They're not winning a lot of ball games, but Cam Newton driving up the excitement there in Carolina, and I was so excited to see that fourth quarter. It has been a long time of Shad watching Bronco games where I actually literally standing in front of the television 3 feet away, just mesmerized. Just come on, the crowd going crazy, goosebumps. You know, it was a loss, but boy, was that an exciting loss. And I got to tell you, Magic is back in the Mile High City. Even more exciting probably for you, Danny, being there at the game. Tell us a little bit about what the atmosphere was like.
Well, anybody who was there, and for those of you who just watched it on the TV, didn't really have to have too much of a picture painted in your mind to know that it was pretty much a snoozer for the whole first half. I mean, the Bronco offense could not get anything going. Kyle Orton was exceptionally bad, Shad. I mean, that's it was. There's bad, and then there's exceptionally bad, and Kyle was just. There's nothing that he could do right today.
I was so surprised because I felt that, and maybe you guys that follow our blogs here on Bronco Planet, I thought, you know what, this is the chance that the team's going to rally behind Kyle Orton. He's going to go show all those naysayers. He's going to step up, have a big game, and he looked like he'd rather been bowling today.
Yeah, or at home, trimming the hedge. It was just weird. It was just a weird feeling. It was a weird atmosphere. It was almost like, as much as I hate to say it, Kyle was the turd in the punch bowl today. That just kind of made everybody. I don't want to use the word depressed. It just sat down.
He brings you down.
Yeah,
it's like going to a funeral. Mm-hmm. It was like 3/4 of being at a funeral, and then Tebow comes in, and everybody gets excited. Now, we're not going to get too crazy about Tebow's the next John Elway, but what he is exciting, and the defense gets excited. John Fox is on the sideline excited, and it was just really, really a fun game at the end. You know what? We're going to lose lots of games this year. We know that. But if we can watch that kind of excitement and you're in it right at the end, that's all I'm asking.
Heck, had I known, I'd have contacted the Bronco organization, see if I could just pay a quarter of the price of my ticket and just show up in the fourth, because that's when all the that was the game. And let's be honest here. Tebow is going to be on the front page of every newspaper tomorrow, the highlight of every blog. But let's talk about another big point. And even though giving up 29 points, our defense today did it outstanding. I thought holding the Chargers 8 of 29 points, but 5 field goals. That's a big deal.
There was a stat late in the game where the Chargers had the ball for 32 minutes and the Broncos had it for 16 minutes.
2/3 of the game.
So it was like it was pretty pathetic. Mm-hmm. I think our receivers had 3 receptions. Can you believe that in a passing league now? Our wide receivers, 3 receptions in the entire game. And Decker, who had actually minus yards. Lloyd with 1 catch for 20 yards. So, the whole thing kind of, mind-boggled.
It was weird.
Me.
Yeah, it was Twilight Zone-ish.
But it was cool, though. The tight end's getting some of the action. No, Sean Moreno comes in, makes a great play. And what was so fun about that game, and there's nobody been more hard on these 2 players than, both of us here at Bronco Planet. Robert Ayers with a big sack and a knockout of the ball, and no Sean Moreno coming through. So these guys that you just didn't think would do it. Tebow gets in there. The magic's happening. Everybody's hit. I mean, it was old Mile High Stadium type feel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And everybody, and it's just it's an uprising on both sides of the ball. San Diego obviously knew that they were getting in trouble. They kind of felt that, tried to slow the pace down, and it still almost cost them the game. Again, nobody ever wants to put a loss on the old chalkboard there, but that was one hell of a way to lose.
Oh, it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So let's take a few moments, think just real quick here. Who gets your game ball this game, and who goes in your doghouse?
Well, I tell you what, it's quite refreshing, and the interesting thing, the props that you had mentioned with Noshan, I think Noshan has finally got the message that this isn't his ball club anymore. Willis McGahee again busts another 100+ yard day out, and the big thing about it, if you haven't seen the game or if you've got it taped on your DVR, or if you watch the game and you do happen to have it on your DVR, go back and just really pay attention to Willis McGahee runs and the yards after first contact or second contact or third contact. He was an absolute animal today. Willis, keep doing what you're doing, because that obviously is going to lift a guy like Noshan to come in on a third down situation, take a pass to the house like he did. So my game ball today, definitely Willis McGahee.
Hey, and I'm going to have to say here, the offensive line's doing a great job. And I thought that not only J.D. Walton, who we watched, we went through the game a couple times afterwards, doing a great job right up the middle there, the tough guy. We've had J.D. Walton on our show just this last week, as you guys all saw, and Orlando Franklin. I mean, it's weird, but I think he's almost outperforming Ryan Clady.
Yeah,
Did I say that?
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I mean, Clady with another penalty today. He's been struggling a little bit. I know he's still coming off of that injury, but I'm telling you, Orlando Franklin, not only playing great, not getting penalized, and running down the field ahead, stirring up trouble. Orlando Franklin, I'm going to give you my game ball because I thought you did a great job. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't give Tim Tebow. I know the fans have been screaming for it, but Tim Tebow comes in there running. He had some pretty good touch passes, and that ridiculous catch that Lloyd makes with the one hand gets his butt in on the sideline.
Well, statistically, 4 for 10 is not going to, that's not going to light up anybody's eyes as far as stats go. 79 yards, not a big deal, but it's what you get out of those. And if you want to talk about quality yards, you can't get any more quality than a touchdown from Noshan. It's just a weird. It's a weird feeling, Like I said, we're supposed to be mad. We're supposed to be angry. We're supposed to be calling for somebody's head. But I think one thing, especially Shad, and I think you can agree with me going into the bye week, the Broncos starting quarterback when we come out of the bye.
Without a doubt, in Miami, there will be a riot here in Denver. I may start the riot myself if Tim Tebow's not the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I truly believe, unless there's an injury, Kyle Orton has seen his last start as a Denver Bronco.
I think you're absolutely right on that. Plus, another thing to kind of consider with Orton, if that is something that they're going to go. Now, keep in mind, Denver's got 4 quarterbacks. The trade deadline is coming forth, and there are teams out there, especially Miami, that are in dire need of a quarterback. Possibly this last time we saw Kyle Orton. It's certainly on the table. You can't dismiss it. And if that's the case, and we need to ride number 15 for a while and see if let's see if he sinks or swims. Today he didn't really do either. He treaded water, but he made it exciting, and it made it worth spending dropping that kind of coin to go see him in person.
Yeah, his rushing yards, his scramble around, get a first down here, obviously the touchdown run, and watching the defense, the crowd, the coaches, there's just that magic. It's those intangibles that everybody's been harping about. So Tim Tebow, great job. Now let's talk a little bit about the doghouse. Who you putting in your doghouse? Maybe not even up to this game specifically, but we're at the bye week. So far in the year, who's been the biggest disappointment for you?
Well, I don't know if I opened my mouth and stuck my foot in it too early, but I really thought that Von Miller was going to have a breakout introduction to the San Diego Chargers. I thought Phillip Rivers was going to be running for his life. Granted, Von Miller had a sack, but kind of, and I don't even want to use the word non-factor. He had a solid game. There was just no flash. There was no him coming off the edge with
just going crazy.
Yeah, just going crazy. Got to give the O-line for the Chargers. Obviously, they've scouted him. They know what, and make no mistake, Von Miller's not hype by any stretch of the imagination. But I think the O-line for the Chargers did a good job taking him out. I don't want to put him in my doghouse. I should probably put myself in the doghouse for having that kind of expectation. But obviously the Chargers saw that coming. They saw that writing on the wall as well. Honorable mention in the doghouse. Again, in the land of heroes and goats, that is just life, Had Kyle lit it up for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns today, the papers would say that's the reason why Tim Tebow's not your starter. Cassius Vaughn, God bless him. He got a gift and took it to the house. It's nice. Our defensive touchdowns are so few and far between. It's nice when something like that. He got the gift, took it to the house, and then turns around and gets burned deep on the Malcolm Floyd touchdown there at halftime. So one of these for you,
I think Cassius Vaughn has been kind of this way. I mean, there's times, he's
young.
been thrown in there.
The kid's young, and honestly, we're going to do nothing but get better.
So I'm gonna have to go with my doghouse way out of the way. First of all, I think Von Miller's on his way to having 16 sacks this season. I know what you're saying. You want him to light it up on every play. You want him to be, that Derek Thomas. I know it may be too much to ask this earlier in his career, but right now the people I'm disappointed in, DJ Williams. That was a dumb penalty at the end of the game.
Good game.
I've been disappointed though. He's been hurt a lot. Mm-hmm. His off the field issues over the years. I'm about up to here with DJ Williams. I get it. If he got cheap shotted, you got to walk away. He shouldn't have got a flag, but that's when he was a former team captain. He may even be their team captain this year, but that was not what we want to see out of someone like DJ Williams. Cost him some seconds in the fourth quarter.
2 minutes.
Mike McCoy still is not impressing me, even in the littlest bit. I think he doesn't help Kyle Orton anyways. The small little passes here and there. McCoy doesn't do it for me. He didn't do it for me last year. I don't think he has the kind of excitement that you need. I love that John Fox is a great defensive coach. I like his leadership, but I think right now what I'd like to see is a better offensive coordinator, and then let Fox do the hands off.
Right.
Let Dennis Allen run the defense. You want to help out some extra? That's your expertise. Bring in somebody that can run an offense that's going to figure out how to better utilize Tim Tebow. So McCoy's been in my doghouse for some time. And Andre Goodman, I think, has not impressed me at all this season. He's been mediocre at best. So that's kind of my downside. But the good news is we had excitement again. We got a pulse.
Yeah, absolutely have a pulse. And that's kind of the one thing that you folks out there need to understand about a John Fox team is that it's not going to be a lot of flash. When you've had that, when you've had those losses that we've had to endure over the course of the past 2 years, we need something. We saw the flea flicker last week. I about dropped and clutched my chest. I couldn't believe it actually happened. John Fox wants a well-balanced offense. The key to great passing days is a good running game. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get a little bit more balance, better balance. But in doing so, sometimes that goes into the blasé category of football. So as we gel and like you said, props to the O-line today. Love the O-line, what they did, making big holes. It's going to come, folks. It's just not going to come tomorrow or next week or in week 8, but it is coming.
Well, we certainly need to get healthy, and we've had a lot of guys out, so the bye week couldn't have come at a better time for the Broncos.
Real quick, now that you said that, quick props to talking about guys being healthy. Marcus Thomas, nice game today. Absolutely nice game. We've been hurting on the D-line against the run, although we did give up 125 yards to Ryan Matthews today. Overall, there was pressure on the quarterback, and that's a big deal. That is a huge deal.
Really good job.
Champ back, obviously, he never misses a beat.
It's so good to have him back. It's so important to have him in there. And I thought Joe Mays had a couple plays. He got beat a little bit, but I thought overall some punishing hits. I think and this is still pretty relatively new for him, a special teams expert before. So I've been happy with his play. Obviously, DJ Williams and who's our other guy? Wesley Woodyard. Had good tackles, always in the top 3 of the Broncos in tackles. So we're coming around. Good bye week. Get healthy. Tell me a little bit here before we wrap up. Tell me a little bit what you want to see out of the Broncos after the bye.
Well, you never want to go into a bye week on a loss. That's just, that's common sense. But I think the fourth quarter day opened up a lot of eyes, not only on the sidelines for the Broncos, but the players as well. Players they're camaraderie in teams and all that stuff. I get it. And that's why you never saw a guy come out and mean-mouth Kyle Orton. They're going to back their horse. They're going to back their guy. But these guys also get tired of losing, and when you bring a young guy like Tebow in and you're a couple of scores down and all of a sudden you're in it and you almost win it, that could change the whole culture
Get a
in the
little
locker
taste
room.
in the
Oh
mouth.
yeah, that could change the whole culture in the locker room. Hopefully, and certainly, it'll change the culture on the Denver coaching side of it.
I couldn't agree anymore. I'm excited about what's going to happen after the break. I think we've seen some good things. McGahee obviously has established himself as a good guy to have in there as a starter. He's rough and tough, doing a good job. No Sean's going to add a lot coming out of the backfield receiving. So I think that's the right spot for him, and I think he can contribute. So they're slowly, their tight end play starting to get a little better. So you can kind of see things starting to fall in place a little bit. Obviously, we got to figure out what we're going to do with Tim Tebow. How do you open it up? How do you get more out of him? And then hopefully that defense stays healthy and we can roll in with some exciting games after the break. So I know the Bronco fans were loving it, and the chats were going out there. And you're a dead fish if you didn't get excited in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been that excited watching a game at the new Sports Authority Field or in Mile High, any stadium. Really, it may be a decade since I've been that excited about a fourth quarter.
Wow.
That's how bad
was
it's
a
been.
boring life,
You
yeah.
can tell we haven't been in the
Birth of
playoffs.
his child? No, not so much.
I beg you, tell me a different game.
Well,
that's
yeah,
been
it
exciting.
is awful tough. But I think the other thing that's going to be a little exciting going into this bye week is now there is no we should or we shouldn't, because Kyle played halfway good and may have saved his neck for another week. He didn't. Tebow did, and I think the gloves are going to be coming off, certainly in the media. The gloves have been off for a while now within the fan base, but I think what you might start to see is some flip-flopping, we're not here to beat down Kyle, at all. It is what it is, and today he just had a really, really bad day. But I think in this next couple of weeks, I think the Broncos get it done. I think they figure out what it is they need to do. I think they take Tim Tebow down and Tim Tebow Day down in Florida, and they give Miami a whooping. How funny would it be if Orton gets traded to Miami and then faces him in 2 weeks?
Oh boy, that'd be
underwear.
really serious drama. Yeah, we'll see. I think Orton's going to accept a little less money than he thought he was going to get at the beginning of this season.
And why is that, Chad?
Well, a 21 quarterback rating today was just one of many reasons why.
Doesn't really get you $9 million a year, does it now?
So anyway, Kyle Orton was Kyle Orton. Tim Tebow was exciting, brought the intangibles. Looked confused at the beginning, not polished.
Bobbled a couple of...
But he had some good-looking
Yeah,
passes and exciting. So I guess what? Hey, what? We're here at the bye week. Forget what's in the past now. We're looking forward here at Bronco Planet, and I know the fans are. So let's take a break. Have a good bye week, and we'll be in touch. We've got some fun things coming at you. We got some more interviews. We got fan interviews. They're down at the stadium today. So it's all coming here right at Bronco Planet. Where else can they catch us, Danny?
Well, you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook anytime you want. We've got a great Bronco page, or a Bronco Planet page, rather, and, of course, YouTube. We are global, 52, 53 now countries that we're being watched in. God bless every one of you. Mwah. Sorry it was a loss, but was happy that we lost the way it did. For Shad, I'm Danny, and go Broncos.
Bring on the Tebow.